Rand, I need another episode of Fully Cinematic.
It's been quite a while since a new vampire movie was released. It's been years, in fact. Hollywood did deliver a decent vamp streaming miniseries last year, and here we are with a full-length feature about bloodsuckers. So I'm going to run it down for you. And oh yeah, there will be spoilers. We're immediately informed that the story is set in the Golden State as the California Love remix plays over aerial shots of LA. We soon meet self-employed pool cleaner Bud Jablonski on a job that recently hosted an apparent, but things are not exactly as they seem. The pool boy unloads his bag, which contains a shotgun and a pistol. Upon entering the house, he starts dumping on the occupant, an elderly woman. Why? As we quickly learn, Grandma's a Nosferatu. Day shift highlights a seldom addressed problem faced by vampire killers: the immense difficulty of piercing the heart of an agile, super strong, lightning fast, undead beast. He also takes out her sangria sucking compadre with a shotgun blast and a throat height line of silver filament. After scooping up his daughter, Paige, and treating her to some goodies at Yogurt World, Bud drops her off at his ex-wife Jocelyn's house, whom he convinces to pause her plan to move to Florida until the following Monday, hopefully giving him time to raise the $10,000 that his little girl needs for braces, etc. Jocelyn, incidentally, is wholly unaware of her ex-husband's hunting activities. Subsequently, Bud takes a few of Grandma's extracted teeth to a black market dealer, Troy, which nets him a couple racks. Meanwhile, vampiric Latina realtor Audrey has been initiating a hostile takeover of the San Fernando Valley and in the process discovers that a loved one, the AARP member, was killed, setting her on Bud's trail. Desperate, he meets with fellow combat veteran Big John in hopes of being reinstated into the Vampire Hunters Union. A litany of Bud's hiccups are rattled off by Union President Ralph Seeger, which led to the former's lifelong suspension. He's soon introduced to his union rep, a desk jockey named Seth, who's been ordered to accompany him in the field. Denied a preferred position on a night shift, our heroic pool boy reluctantly agrees to work the titular stint. The inexperienced, uptight Seth immediately clashes with the seasoned, fly-by-the-seat-of-his-pants Bud. Audrey San Fernando plays a painful and lethal visit to Troy in search of info leading to the mysterious tooth extractor's whereabouts. Meanwhile, Riggs and Murtaugh visit an Encino animal shelter where the former takes out a group of juvie vampires while Seth pisses on himself. That night, Bud meets his new neighbor, Heather, and the following day he discovers that his new partner has been spying on him for Seeger before the dysfunctional duo visits Troy's pawn shop, where they find his toothless corpse and a macabre message. When they stake out a house in Simi Valley, which happens to be connected to Audrey, they join forces with rival hunters and the Azazian brothers. After bumping off a trio of Night Stalkers, the team learns the hard way that the house houses an entire mess, and Seth pisses on himself again. Subsequently, the pissless members of the quartet end the various vampire types, spiders, ubers, easterns, and southerns, in brutal yet creative fashion. Despite Poindexter's accident, Bud inexplicably encourages him to pursue a career in the field. When Ray Charles takes Paige to a birthday party, Audrey calls and threatens his entire family. As Junior plays a video game on a pad, he leads an undead hit team on a high-speed chase. After winning her game, Paige assists her dad by calling out obstacles. We get a reference to one of star Jamie Foxx's past films when he mentions Crockett and Tubbs. Father and daughter arrive home just in time to be confronted by the Bride of Dracula and her henchmen, who are holding Jocelyn captive and knock Seth unconscious. Audrey reveals her plan to turn Paige before leaving Bud alone with the turned Seth. After Bud decapitates his newly undead partner, he shockingly reanimates. They head to Bud's place where he confronts Heather, who's also been turned by Audrey. An Uber variant, Heather reveals that the old lady that Bud killed was Audrey's daughter. Meanwhile, Jocelyn and Paige are taken to an ancient subterranean temple. Because they were turned against their will, both Seth and Heather agree to join Bud for some payback. The three amigos cut through a load of minions before finding themselves pinned down. When all hope seems lost, Big J shows up and saves their asses with a minigun nicknamed Big Bertha, equipped with silver-tipped wooden bullets. During the temple infiltration, John's bitten in the neck, prompting him to take a suicidal last stand armed with a pistol and a bomb vest. When Jablonski encounters Audrey's right-hand man, Specs and Heather arrive in time to take him on, allowing Bud to face Audrey in hopelessly outmatched one-on-one combat. Henchman number one gets his arms ripped out, and Ray tricks Draculetta into decapitating herself on a silver line. And owing to Nosferatu physiology, Goggles gets through a mission without wetting his pants. In the aftermath, Union members arrive and Seeger attempts to expel Willie Beeman, only for Seth and the man himself to cite bylaws that cover his actions. And the credits roll to the dulcet tones of the late, great Nate Dogg. Actually, the entire movie is packed with West Coast hip-hop gold, including Ice Cube's Check Yourself remix, Paris's Gorilla Funk, and the late great Nipsey Hussle's Grinding All My Life. Day Shift is the best American suburb set vampire flick since The Monster Squad. And it's given us another great black cinematic vampire slayer to stand next to Blade. So come for the supernatural action and get some classic G-Funk as a bonus. In other news, it's time to check out a few comments that people left on other shows. After checking out the best and worst of the MCU Part 2 show, Danielle M. said, "I'm enjoying the show." Thanks, Danielle. We aim to please. In response to that exact same show, Melanie Edge opined, "It wasn't that bad. It got interesting at the end." I'm not sure which movie you mean, Melanie, but if you're talking about Eternals or Captain Marvel, they're both cinematic toilet brushes. And after watching John's fresh out of the theater reaction to Top Gun Maverick, fresh out the shower proclaimed, "Great movie. Definitely worth the wait. I would go see it again." I agree, Fresh. Worth the wait indeed. Shout out to Fresh Out the Shower, Danielle M. and Melanie Edge for dropping comments. And shout out to everybody who hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But I've had enough of this conversation, so I'm logging off.
Fully cinematic.